Welcome everyone, I'm Brett and welcome to Wonderful Gaming Tech. Now today we're doing a review on the Roccat Burst Pro. It's a ultra lightweight gaming mouse, and if you're looking for a mouse that's a classic Windows mouse optical shape, then this review is for you. So let's get right into it. Now first things first for this mouse. This is the box that it comes in. It's a really nice little mouse, this. I'm really enjoying using it. It's been a couple of days since I've opened it up. This is not paid sponsorships. Whoops. I bought this with my own hard-earned cash, so let's get straight into it. Let's get into some of the features. Now, the features has a lot of. First things first is the mouse clicks and the switches themselves. They are Titan optical switches. They are rated to 100 million clicks. Now, why did I get a new mouse? My Razer Basilisk mouse started to double click. Now, when I was playing things like PUBG or Battlefield 4, and you're trying to say snipe somebody, especially in PUBG, you only really need to fire one shot, and it was firing 2, sometimes 3 shots. So that's why I've got a new mouse. Now, the Titan optical switches are a little bit louder than the Basilisk, but they, in my humble opinion, they don't feel mushy, they don't feel squishy. If I can just show you, this is the mouse. Obviously, I got it in white. The reason I got it in white, because it was on sale for £40, or about $50. The black version was £44, so I say £4 by going with the white one. Now, the mouse buttons themselves, you can hear them there, and that's right, that's left. So I don't think they sound too loud. They don't feel hard, as I've seen some people review about them. I would probably say when you start using them, it takes a little getting used to, but really it's not anything that different from any other mouse I've used. So I rate the switches. They're pretty good. They're not mechanical, so you're not going to get that mechanical feel, but every mouse I've ever had, besides one I've broken, the mouse switches has always been the thing that's failed me. I've always used my mouse until failure, and that's always the thing that fails on me, is the switches. So I'm hoping with these switches that work on light, they won't fail on me like that. So next thing is your feet. Now the feet, it's got 2 large pads. You can see the top one there and the bottom one. This is virgin grade PTFE or Teflon, and they are heat treated. These are simply the best feet I've ever used. They slide so easily across the mouse pad. You will not be sorry with these feet. As I said, they're virgin grade, so never been used for anything else. They're really, really good. It does not take much effort to move the mouse around, as we'll demonstrate now. Alright, so as mentioned, the Phantom Flex cable is this cable here. As you can see, it is quite flexible. If I just leave it on the mouse there and just swing it around, you can see there. Now, it is a type of braided cable. It's not paracord. It's softer than paracord. I wouldn't know what this is, but it does feel quite nice under the hand. All right, so now is our RGBA lighting. Yes, the mouse itself does have RGB lighting in it, and in my humble opinion, it looks really, really good. And the beautiful thing about this lighting is if you've got a Roccat keyboard, the Swarm software works in conjunction with both products, which I do have. I bought the Roccat keyboard. I've got the IMO 120. I bought this 2 years ago, long before I even considered the mouse. And I had nothing but pleasure with using this keyboard. And the lighting works across both devices, which is really nice. Yes, it's under your hand most of the time, but it does look really nice when your hand's not on the mouse. Okay, the sensor is a 16,000 DPI unit. It's called the Owl Eye, which is a variant of the PixArt 3389, and it uses the LM19-LSI lens, also from PixArt. Now this mouse does translate your movements in a one-to-one accuracy, which is really nice. It's a really good sensor. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter which mouse you're using. They all use a variant of the PixArt sensor. One or two of them have their own sensors that they've developed, but 99% of all mice use the same variant of sensor from PixArt, or they buy the sensor from PixArt itself. What Roccat's done, they've customized and modified the sensor to suit their exact needs, and that's what a lot of the companies all do. But it's a really, really good sensor. I'm not going to say it's going to make you the next Ninja or Shroud or whichever esports gamer you want to be, but it will give you a leg up on your competition. Next, it's 68 grams for a corded mouse, really quite light. It's easy on the hand, it feels really good. And being an ultra lightweight mouse, it's got the honeycomb design, but the big thing about this mouse and the honeycomb design, it's got a sheet of plastic over the honeycomb. So you won't have dust and hair and bits getting inside the mouse and jamming up and gunking up the works, which is something I really do appreciate. The distance control unit can be modified, so that is your lift-off sensor. The lift-off sensor is built into the optical sensor underneath here where my finger is, and that can be adjusted according to what your specific settings are. I will show you the Swarm software a bit later, and how you can calibrate it, which is really quite handy. The maximum acceleration of this mouse is 50 Gs. To accelerate that fast, you're really going to have to literally throw the mouse across the room, which I'm not going to do. The maximum tracking speed is 400 inches per second, which there are faster mice. The fastest I've seen is 600, but let's be honest here, any mouse that's got a 16 or a 20,000 DPI setting, you're not going to use it practically. It is way too sensitive. At that sensitivity, you're literally moving the mouse and your crosshairs going across the entire screen. Most esports professionals that I have looked up use a sensitivity between 400 to 800 DPI. That's it. They don't use 16,000, because anything generally, in my humble opinion, above 2,000, you're wasting your time, because you're not going to be very accurate without lots and lots of practice. It's easier to hit stuff when your DPI is low. Okay, next is our polling rate, which is adjustable from 500, 750 and 1000 Hertz. I just leave it on 1000 or 1 millisecond. And it has got a 2-year warranty. Okay, what advantages does this mouse have? Before I get into this, we need to discuss grips. For those of you that don't know, there's generally 3 accepted grips for mice. Now, if you're holding your mouse with your palm on like so, this is called a palm grip for obvious reasons. Your palm lays on the mouse and your whole hand covers the mouse like this. This is the style I use. For me, it works. I don't really like the other 2. The next one is the claw grip. So you can see how my fingers are clawing the mouse. So it's a variation on the palm grip. So you left and right click using your fingers that are bent. And the last variant is what we call a fingertip grip. So you're literally only holding the mouse with your fingertips. The back of your palm is not touching. You can see my whole finger goes up there, and it's on the left, right, and you're just using it like that. That is a fingertip. So you've got claw, palm, and fingertip. This mouse works great for any type of grip you want. I don't have huge hands, but it works for me. I'm pretty sure if you had big or small hands as well, it would work for you as well, which is a really nice feature. It's got the awesome AMO lighting. That's the lighting that comes from the Swarm software, which we'll demonstrate a bit later. It's got, as I mentioned, very accurate settings, or sensor, not settings. It's got 5 settings for DPI positions, so you can change them from 100 DPI all the way up to 16,000. I generally use a variation of 5, 750, 950, 1000 and 1300 depending on what game I am playing. The Swarm software is great and easy to use. It's not complicated. It's got a lot of features that the Razer software does not have, which is actually quite nice. And the biggest point for me, at this price point, in my opinion, this mouse is unbeatable. For £40 is what I paid for the white variant here. There is no mouse that can come close to it. The Basilisk V2 or the Lightspeed variant of that is really good, but again, it costs over £50. The Logitech G502 is also, again, more expensive, and in my opinion is not as good. The Logitech switches is something for me that has always failed early. I've had numerous Logitech mice, and that's one thing that always dies on the Logitech mice is the switches. Okay, some of the disadvantages for the mouse. The DPI sensor, which sits in the middle of the mouse there, it only goes in one direction. It only cycles upwards. So you have to go from position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back down to 1. The clicks are slightly loud when you get the mouse new, but for me, I don't even notice them. I noticed them for about 20 minutes when I started using the mouse, but after that, I think as you break them in, the loudness goes away, and generally that's the only two disadvantages I have for this mouse. I wish it had another DPI sensor so you could go up and down easily, but it's easy enough to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back to 1, because I generally only cycle between 2 anyway. And let's now get into the Swarm software, shall we? Welcome back, everybody. This is the Roccat Swarm software. So on the left, we've got our general features. This is for the keyboard, so I'm not going to worry about that too much for now. If we go to the Burst Pro, you can see here, it's got your vertical scroll speed, your tilt speed, your double click, and your window pointer speed, so you can change all of that here. Then on the right hand side, we've got our DPI switcher. So as I said, I've got 500, 650, 800, 950, and 3500. Currently, you can see there, I'm on 650 DPI, which is quite nice. And then if I click on which is the cool part about this, is the calibrate button. If I click on calibrate, so I can click there, excuse me, and now it's going to go, you go click and click and click. So it tells you 650 dpi, calibration is 4.3 seconds, accuracy is 20 pixels, precision is 18 pixels, and your proposed setting is 650. So if you're not sure which mouse setting you should be using, this is a really cool way to help you determine how fast or slow you want it to be. I quite like it. It's not something I've seen before in any other software. Admittedly, I have not looked at every piece of software out there, but for me, that works. At the bottom of our software here, you can see it's got our different profiles. It's 5 different profiles that you can have. If you go to button assignment, you can see it's got up to 8 different buttons. So left click, right click, then middle mouse, or the middle button is obviously our mouse wheel, which is universal scrolling, and then mouse up and down, 4 and 5, 6 is forward, and 7 is backwards. So it's not an 11 button mouse like some of the other mice are, but it's fine. That is enough buttons for me. And then obviously button 8 is our DPI settings. Then if we click here, we go to illumination settings. So the IMO is a system that works according to what you are doing, essentially. It learns a little bit of how you are operating. Like if you're typing on the keyboard will actually change colors according to how fast or what you're doing on the keyboard itself. So you can change the brightness. There you can see it gives you a representation on the right. And you can say you want it away, fully lit, heartbeat. Yeah, we can just pick that, and speed. Then you can see there it would apply it like that on the mouse itself, which is really cool. So I'm just going to leave it on the IMO. Then our advanced settings is here. So the polling rate 125, 250, 500, or 1000 hertz. Distance control unit, again it goes very low, low or custom. And now the calibrate settings is when you want to calibrate it according to your mouse pad. So if I click calibrate, and now all I'm going to do is I click start, and now I am moving it across my mouse pad. I've got a Cougar Arena mouse pad, which is quite a large mouse pad, but I don't use all of it because my keyboard also sits on it. All right, and there you go. It's now calibrated. It's not as nice as the Razer software, where the Razer software lets you pick your custom mouse pad, but this is good enough for me. And then angle snapping, you can have that on and off, and you want to know what that is. I don't really like this. I don't use it. If you want it, it's there. And sound feedback, again, it's not something I would use. And if you need to reset, you can turn off your LED your LED lights if you want to at night, but it's up to you. You've got your profile manager down there, and then your macro manager if you want to have your macro settings, and it's got a whole heap of games and a little bit of software in here if you want. And that's pretty much the software. If we go to the IMO system, you can see here I have got it, or it was activated. If we click on more information, then it would try and take you to the IMO website, but we're not going to worry about that too much for now. Well, there you go, everybody. Now, the thing is with any mouse review, it's dependent on you, on what your experience is going to be. As I said, the mouse clicks are a little loud, but for me, I use headphones, so I don't hear it to begin with. So it's not a problem for me. But using a mouse is a very subjective experience to a lot of people because every person is different. The requirements are different. All I can do is give you my humble opinion on the mouse. And I must say, I really do enjoy it. It's not too big. It's not too bulky. It's something I have found some of the mice have grown to such a stupid size and all funny angles. When you actually put your hand on it, it can either pinch your skin or it's uncomfortable to use. Or I do suffer from both tennis and golfer's elbow due to sports and using computers for most of my life. This mouse doesn't aggravate my arm, which I really do enjoy. As I said, using a mouse, I can't say this is going to turn you into the next Ninja or Shroud, but because of its accuracy and the fundamental way it's designed, it might give you a hands up on your competition. What I have found while playing PUBG with this, it does make me a little more accurate because I don't overshoot when I'm doing a snapshot, for instance. It lets me be more accurate on snapshots, flicking and those kind of things, bunny hopping in like Quake 3, things like that, those kind of games also. And when I was playing War Thunder the other night, I could, yes, you can flick shots in War Thunder. You can. As crazy as that sounds, you can. I was finding I was flicking to shots I wasn't able to do before, so I quite enjoyed doing that. So what's my ultimate rating on this mouse out of 10? I give this mouse a 9.5 because it's fast, it's accurate, it's light, it doesn't hurt my hand, it feels great to use, it's accurate, and it's got a great 2-year warranty, and the software is easy and friendly to use and doesn't hog your system up like certain other people looking at you. Rosa. So that's my review, guys. 9.5 out of 10 for the Roccat Burst Pro. I was looking to buy a wireless mouse. I had nearly bought the Razer Basilisk Ultimate or the Logitech Geo 2 Lightspeed, but I looked at it this way. I paid £40 for this beautiful little mouse. Those mice start at £100. I can buy 2.5 mice for the price of that one mouse. Yes, it's not wireless, but with the Phantom Flex cable, and if I get a cable hanger, it's all right. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, do remember to smash that subscribe button and keep safe, keep well. Love you lots. Cheers for now.